Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuwah and the truth. We are on video number 7 of Who is Allah, the Hindu Connection. We are on Palestinian Latinized from Philistine. Abraham and the Egyptian servant of Sarah, Hagar, produced Ishmael, the firstborn. Sometime later, Sarah began to deal harshly with Hagar, and Sarah departed with Ishmael. Yahuwah intervened and sent Hagar back. He told Hagar what Ishmael would be like. And he will be a wild man, his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Genesis 16:12. Ishmaelites and Yashreelites are both Hebrews and are brothers, yet they fight over the land given to Abraham's seed. Their main point of conflict is who they worship. The two sects of Islam, Sunni and Shia, have been fighting from the beginning. The Romans conquered Yehuda and destroyed the temple in 70 CE. Vespasian named the land Palestine, a Latinism for Philistia, the former site of the Philistines, a region that was visited by Abraham. If Arabs refer to themselves as Palestinians, they label themselves Philistines. They do this making it seem their claim to the land predates the tribes of Yasharal. Genesis 21:34 states, Abraham sojourned in the land of the Philistines many days. Obviously, Abraham wasn't a Philistine, so neither were his sons Yitzchak and Ishmael. Ishmael was half Egyptian because Hagar was Egyptian. Ishmael means Elohim hears. Arabs are children of Abraham, a Hebrew, and are not the children of the Philistines. The fruit or behavior of a faith shows what kind of tree it is, either good or bad. Many crescent symbols are found among pagan religions. Roman coinage and these old wall engravings, or they could be temple or shrine engravings, found possibly in pyramids. Muslims know the term Allah is not a name, but a pronoun meaning the G-O-D. The Hebrew word Allah with one L, Aleph Lamed Hey, is not associated with Islam, although that may be the first reaction when we see the spelling A-L-A-H, Allah, rather than the traditional Elah. The Pharisees did not twist the letter Aleph, A, into A-N, E. It was twisted by a Karaite sect called the Masoretes. This sect began with Anan ben David, or Daoud, in 767, adopting the sighted moon or crescent sighting of the Muslims. The Islamic Caliph in Babylon spared his life because he adopted this method. This sect of Masoretes or traditionalists did not want anyone uttering the true name Yod-He-U-He as Yahuwah, so they invented vowel distortions with Nikud and cantillation marks to train those reading Hebrew to mispronounce words. Elohim as Elohim became Elohim. Yahu became Yeho. They left the name Abraham alone, otherwise it would be Ibrahim today. The Hebrew root al, A-L, Aleph Lamed, became E-L, L. This root is not a name of any kind. It is a pronoun implying lofty upward highness, strength, mightiness, etc. The airline El Al means to go upward. El Al is spelled Ayin Lamed, which is L, plus Aleph Lamed, which is Al. Note crescent symbol, Shiva equals Allah. In Hinduism, ascended beings are represented with blue skin to associate them with the blue sky. Shiva the destroyer is shown above with prayer beads, a serpent, ashes on the forehead, a third eye, the Om symbol, and crescent and star. The crescent and star symbol has sexual meaning. That is part of Hinduism's three principles of creation, sustenance, and destruction. The crescent and star represent Shiva and his spouse Shakti performing what is called shivaling. The more we learn about what these occult symbols mean, the more we comprehend why Yahuwah calls these practices abominations of the earth. The meanings are withheld from the masses. We do not bow down to symbols or objects representing the hosts of heaven. Many cultures adopted the old religion of Babel, Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz, that trinity. Everything in the mainstream religions come from these trinities. The Hindu trinity's crescent is Shiva, the destroyer. The crescent is part of the Om symbol and is an ancient venerated artifact. Hinduism perpetuates the worship of the hosts of heaven, Nimrod's star worship. This infected the teachings of the Yahudim as they also began to worship the hosts of heaven. See Acts 7:42. Pagans practiced the old religion of Babel, serving Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz in babbled names. The Hindu trinity reveals Allah as Shiva, the destroyer. Note the crescent and star in the Hindu Om symbol. I'll show you guys these pictures. This one. Shiva worship is associated with crescents. The beads and crescents on the Hindu shaman above did not appear out of nowhere, but rather began with the rebellion of Nimrod. The ancients saw the motion of the stars as they turned around a central point, imitating this with the ritual of circumambulation. Moving starlight is on the top, and then the actual cube that people circumambulate or walk circles around. Kaaba above, and then the stupa is on the next page. Tibetan stupa, Tibetan Shiva shrines, Shiva crescent, Tibetan stupa, circumambulating ritual object. Sorry. Domes. The original Tower of Babel may have resembled a domed ziggurat. As the worship of the hosts of heaven spread on the earth, Babel's customs and designs did also. Structures or objects within them had sexual overtones to them. The dome feature is shared by both religious and governmental entities in every time and place. In the photo above, we see two Shiva shrines with rectangular walls and a shaft-like object in the center of both. They appear identical to the early photos of the Kaaba at Mecca. The photo also shows devotees walking around the larger Shiva shrine. The tip of the tall spire has a crescent and star indicating Shiva and Shakti. These are Hindu shrines, not Islamic. So there can be no doubt that the Kaaba at Mecca was originally a Shiva shrine. Hinduism invaded the Levant, Eastern Mediterranean area, like a tidal wave about 200 BCE. Its enlightenment was embraced into existing cultures, even Yasharal, Israel. Ancient tombs took on the architecture of Shiva shrines, having domes designated for them. Herod's tomb was one example. In architecture around the world, the dome is the male sexual object, Shiva, and the building below is the female, Shakti. The gurus know this, as do the secret societies that build these pagan religious structures around the world. Buildings such as mosques, Byzantine and Catholic cathedrals, and Capitol buildings around the world are modeled after Shiva shrines. The dome is Shiva's penis, and the dragon is waving it in everyone's face, including Yahusha's. These things are not accidental, but are by design. The U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. is called the Temple of Libertas. Libertas is the Roman equivalent to Shakti or Semiramis of Babel. Pantheon, Rome, Italy. Santa Maria ad Martires. U.S. capital, Temple of Shiva and Shakti. The famous Taj Mahal mimics the design of a Shiva temple. Taj Mahal, one of many Shiva temples in India. Dome at Rome, Hindu Shiva shrine. Egyptian obelisk in the Avato Tondo, Hindu wheel of life. Shows it back here. Roman Basilica, Hindu Shiva shrine. So they're all over the world, all over the place. A cassock is the long garment worn by clergy and those who assist in rituals. The Hindu aspect of this garment is striking. The design of a cassock and other items worn with them, such as beads, have been handed down from Eastern sources who practice the mystical rituals of Hinduism. The ritual garments sometimes leave nothing to the imagination. Mythbuster, garments of Catholic and Muslim clerics are Hindu. Shiva phallus, and you'll see this thing that the guy wears there on his head, right here, and the all-seeing eye. Shiva temple. Many Gnostic ideas were carried over from the Eastern teachings of Hinduism. Another was the familiar idea of folding the hands in prayer, shown in the illustration. It is called Namaste and means, the spirit in me bows to the spirit in you. Again, we perceive how the spiritual realm is regarded as perfect, and yet we are commanded to not bow to any entity but Yahuwah, the maker of all things visible and invisible. Pagan Namaste gesture, mutant sun worship, Catholic nun and Buddhist nun. It looks the same. Okay, so the Shiva temple first, and then Namaste. Catholic nun and Buddhist nun. Next time we will be reading, in the 2nd century BCE, Egyptian worshippers of Serapis were called by the Greek term Christianos, and we'll be reading about the Kabbalah, esoteric forces, the mysticism of Rabbinic Judaism, Zohar, yoke of Kabbalah. And we might get through the use of the Pharisees, Rabbinic Judaism. And I will have a poll up soon for the next video because we are almost done with Who is Allah. I've learned a lot of new things from this book. This is a very good book. If you guys would like to get it yourselves, it is on TorahZone.net. I do have another copy of this as well. If anyone would like one of their own, let me know. I love you all with an everlasting love, as our Abba Yahuwah and the Shamayim loves each and every one of us. And now it's time to praise Yahuwah. Yahuwah is with me. Yahuwah is for me. Yahuwah is greater than all of these things. If Elohim is for me, then who can be against me? Seek him, and you will find him. Knock, and the door will be opened unto you. Unto you. Abba Yahuwah, you are my Elohim. You give me strength, you give me peace, every day in every way. You're always right there beside me. So seek him, and you will find him. Knock, and the door will be opened unto you. Unto you. Breathe your ruach into me. Put in me a new heart. You replace my heart of stone with a softened heart. Yahusha is coming for his bride on a cloud of righteousness. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Seek him and you will find him. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. Unto you. For Yahusha is waiting expectantly for his bride to be. That was Seek Him. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know our Abba Yahuwah did. I love you all. Shalom and blessings.